wiping out the morals of our country. It is corrupting our youth, enticing them to experiment with drugs and sex and to follow Satan to hell. It is rock and roll, and it is now, like in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, getting a bad rap from the pulpit. Saluda, South Carolina. A country town church and evangelist Billy Adams, a former rock and roller from the 50s who found God in the 60s and now preaches against the evils of rock and roll, the messages and the beat, and the so-called brainwashing.
There is the issue of backwards masking, that is, putting messages on records backwards so you hear them subliminally if you're playing the message forwards. We have two examples. First off, take Queen. It's a group, and they have a song out now called Another One Bites the Dust, and it's very popular. And forward, it sounds like this.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Ow!
Now, if you take that exact same portion of that Queen record, put it on a piece of tape, and played it backwards, it would come out sounding like this. It seems they're saying it's fun to smoke marijuana. That may or may not be the case. You'd have to ask Queen. Another example would be something from the Electric Light Orchestra. It's called Fire on High. This one is really very obvious. It sounds like this forwards. But if you took that exact same portion of the record and you played it backwards on a piece of tape, it would come out sounding like this.
The music is reversible, but time. Turn back, turn back, turn back, turn back.
In fiery speeches across the country, Adams has preached against Queen, ELO, and Led Zeppelin.
Listen at him say, "He is my prince, Satan." Listen for yourself. I'm trying to tell you, whatever you think they're saying, I am trying to prove to you that the recording people have taken time to sit down and put something in reverse.
This fiery rhetoric of late has led to record album covers being burned, the records themselves smashed. Scenes like these have been repeated in Georgia, South Carolina, Indiana, Arkansas, California, and elsewhere. But beyond the flames and the noise, there is the real debate over the issue. This is Dr. Frank Garlick, the minister of music for the South Baptist Church in Greenville, South Carolina, and the president of Musical Ministries. Garlick records and distributes Christian music. And this is Bob Bailey, a disc jockey and music director for Atlanta radio station WKLS. Garlick views rock music as evil, anti-Christian, and rather than burn albums, tours the country speaking to teens. Bob Bailey plays the records on radio, decides what the teens will hear if they listen to his station.
Pop music or rock music is a reflection of what's happening in our society. But I think, as Gene Lee said in High Fidelity magazine, I think it's not only a symptom of the problem, I think it helps to aggravate the problem. It's also a cause.
It's been dangerous for ages, and basically people seem to recover from it. In other words, I don't think it's dangerous. It's rebellious, but that's just the nature of youth.
I've had many teenagers say to me, well, I can listen to it, and it's not going to encourage me to take drugs. But you watch. The kids who are on the drugs, what kind of music do they listen to? Rock.
Are there satanic messages on rock albums?
Yes.
Then,
are there satanic inducements to Satanism? I'm not aware of any.
I guess the question is, after that, with all those satanic messages being played on radio stations, is it corrupting today's youth? Is it corrupting today's society?
I don't really think so. I don't think, in a song as old as Sympathy for the Devil, I don't think the average person really pays any attention to the lyrics.
Most teenagers will tell you that they're not aware of the words. They say, I like the sound, I don't even know what the words say. But I think it's affecting their subconscious mind, if nothing else. But if they have the records, they listen to those songs over and over and over again. That message of what's in those songs is bound to affect them.
There's a sense of rebellion in all kids when they first reach a point where they're questioning the values that have been given them, whether it's through parents, through society, through the church, or whatever, and then you get rebellion. Well, rebellion can be going out and stealing hubcaps, it can be going out and getting seriously involved in drugs, it can be nothing more than playing the music loud in the basement.
In the average school, it's the rebellious kids who are loud, who take over. I don't think a large percentage of the kids really want to rebel, but they're intimidated by the rebellious kids.
If this is a race between you and Satan, do you think Satan's catching up?
I think Satan's winning, but not in the long run.
I don't really think the music in and of itself is a great factor in influencing the kids to be promiscuous or to smoke pot or to go out and get into a coven, a black mass Satan worshiping.
And there's not much to listen to as far as the pop genre would be
concerned. As far as the
concerned.
pop genre is concerned, you're right, yes. There's not really a great deal. Now, there is some, but it's few and far between.
I consider rock music basically to be harmless popular music, whether it's how much is that doggy in the window or Jumpin' Jack Flash. You know, you're talking about popular music. I don't think it's a significant social force. I don't think it was really a significant social force in 1968 when you were having songs like Eve of Destruction in Ohio.
You ought to avoid it because of the problems, because of their open, blatant occultism, saying that it's demonic worship. When they say that, then a Christian young person ought to say, well, then I don't want to have any part with that.